So that's what we're talking about today as we continue our series on the 10 Commandments, making them relevant to us today as challenges for how to live our lives a little better. What did I title this? Oh, good. And I'm going to frame "Thou shalt not commit adultery" into "Find true intimacy." Find true intimacy. Of course, adultery means infidelity or betrayal or deceitfulness or sneakiness. And all of these are ways of avoiding confronting yourself. So when you cheat, who you cheating on? We're all one. We're all one. So I would say, first of all, besides do not commit adultery, I think all of these need to be phrased in some positive way. So find true intimacy, but don't be of harm to others in relationship, regardless of whether it's a romantic relationship or any relationship. Be aware, as we talked about last week, to not be of harm, but to actually try to be of benefit. What if in every relationship you were in, you made a decision, I want to be of benefit here. I don't want to just not cause harm. I want to be of benefit. What would that be like? Because what is a relationship for when we're talking about souls? Not when we're talking necessarily about bodies and about this experience of being human, although I believe this experience of being human is what we are in so that we can learn these lessons, so that we can learn that. So that we can learn that we are souls. We experience ourselves, as the book talked about, as incomplete, so that we can go through the process of learning that we are whole. And part of the way that we find our wholeness is that we find it in each other. We experience it in relationship. If you want to be loved by God, let yourself be loved by another. That is God's way of loving you on this earth. If you want to love, allow God to love others through you. Yeah. So all love is a reflection of divine love. I absolutely believe that. The love of a mother for a child is God's love coming through the mother to the child. The love of a husband for a wife is God's love coming through the husband to the wife. The love of a friend for a friend is divine love coming through one friend into the other. And ideally, it's not into and it stops there. The flow continues. Because as we love another, we teach them how to love. We open them to that flow of divine love, and then they're able to stay open and give that love everywhere they go. So ultimately, adultery, in this sense, is a betrayal of self. It's a betrayal of the opportunity to deepen a love, to allow the love to be truly divine. And it's hard. It's hard to be in a relationship. I don't know if you've noticed that. People ain't easy. Yeah? Right? And they want things from you, and you want things from them. And it's too easy, and in this world, it is too often the case that love becomes transactional. Well, I'll give you this much of me if you'll give me this much of you. And then when we get into fear about, whoa, wait a minute, you're getting a little too close in. I might have, if you see this in me, I might have to look at it. And I'm not ready to look at it. So I'm going to turn my attention elsewhere. So I think about this as there are two ways to conduct a relationship: knowing that it is sacred and forgetting that it is sacred. And it doesn't matter what relationship we're talking about. Your relationship with your mailman. This is a sacred relationship if you choose for it to be. Course in Miracles says there are no accidents. You meet everybody by divine appointment. I know you by divine appointment. You know me by divine appointment. We're here together for that reason. And so if you think of this elevating our closest relationships to sacredness and fulfillment, elevating our closest relationships to the awareness of the sacredness that they are, so that all people in the relationship can be fulfilled. And I think of that as like one deep cave, right? Which encompasses us, which makes us safe, which gives us a place to be fully ourselves. Because it's, if you walk around being your full, complete, vulnerable self to everybody in the world, yes, you will find that there are people who will harm you because they're not ready for that. But when you have decided to be in relationship with someone, then you are cheating them by not giving of yourself, by not allowing yourself to be seen, and you are cheating yourself by not allowing yourself to be seen. And it's too easy to jump ship when things get real. That felt really, really good for those first few fluttery months or even years, but now the dog poop is tracked on the floor. Not that I would use that as an example. So, one deep cave instead of going into a dozen shallow ones, digging one deep hole rather than scooping out a little here and a little here and a little here. You will never find the gold. You will never hit the water table if you dig a bunch of shallow holes. But if you dig one deep hole, you will find that it becomes a wellspring of love. That's ideal. So how do we do this? How do we find the deep cave? And for those of you who are not in romantic relationships, please know that this is not just about a marriage or a partnership or a romantic relationship. This is about every relationship that you decide to hold as sacred. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, what do we need is awareness. We have to be mindful. We have to actually know, hey, the opportunity, at least, for sacredness lives here in this moment. This could be a sacred exchange. Just holding that in your awareness. And knowing in longer term relationships, let's say, not just somebody new that you meet, but in a longer term relationship, this being mindful, not taking it for granted, loving, not taking it for granted that you are loved and that you have the opportunity to love, because that is the opportunity to open the flow of divine love in both directions. That's what that is. So know that the sacredness exists, and if you're not feeling it. Seek the sacred. And one of the ways to do this is through self-care. You can't meet another's needs if you're not meeting your own. You cannot be honest with another unless you're honest with yourself. We spend too much time seeking elsewhere when it's always an inside job. We want someone to take care of us. We didn't get loved as a child, then you have to love me. Somebody in this world better love me so that I can feel loved. Well, somebody in this world will, but I promise you, you're not letting it in if you have not first allowed your love for yourself. Notice all these songs that we sang. I love myself so much that I can love you so much. And what that means is not Melinda's loving Melinda. It means Melinda is allowing the love of God to have its way in Melinda. And then everything opens up. And one of the ways to make sacred relationship is to be present and listen. How many times have we missed an opportunity for real connection because we just weren't paying attention? I mean, I can say that there are times when I'm only talking to somebody and it seems like a normal exchange and I'm just expecting it to be, laundry lists or whatever. And suddenly I come to and realize, oh, this person is sharing something and I wasn't present for it. How can I be present now without admitting that I wasn't listening before? So it's about being vulnerable. It's about 86ing the games, being brave enough to be real. There's a quote that I think of all the time from one of my favorite singer-songwriters, Chuck Pyle. He says in his song, "Let the light of my love shine in," he says, "Some people believe they're free, but they're really only lonely, prisoners to the fear of being known, of being known." And okay, this is hokey, but have you heard before that the word intimacy can be broken down to into me see? Are you letting somebody in there? Are you letting somebody in there? Can you, when you allow someone to truly love you, rather than feeling like I'm showing up as my best self and maybe I can fool them into liking me, then we never believe in that love. We never do, because we know you haven't really seen me. So what you love is what I presented to you, not who I am. And it takes a lot of courage to allow the who I am to be accessed, to be that vulnerable. And make no mistake, y'all, not everybody is trustworthy. I'm not saying rip your chest open and let anybody who's walking down the street come in and grab your heart. That's not what I'm saying. But I would say pay attention, listen, watch. People will show you who they are, usually pretty quickly. People will show you who they are. And when they show you who they are, believe them. If they show you they're not ready, don't think, I can make him ready if I just try a little harder. Or, oh, what's readiness? You know, a little willingness will do. Whatever. Believe people when they show you who they are. And sometimes you will trust somebody who seems trustworthy and you will get hurt. Let me just say that. It's not like this is a perfect formula and you'll never get hurt if you allow intimacy, but I tell you what, you'll never get loved if you don't. And isn't love worth a little hurt? Isn't love worth a little hurt? So, rather than worrying about whether other people are going to betray you, focus your attention on how trustworthy you can be in relationship and see what that opens up in another. And don't ignore what you hear back. Don't ignore what you see. But just see what happens. Thich Nhat Hanh, beautiful Buddhist teacher, has these 4 mantras for relationship. I really love this because he says relationship is all about the gift of presence. If you're not present, you can't have a relationship. If you're present, you have the opportunity to do so. And the first mantra is, "Darling, I am here for you." It's actually standing in someone's presence and saying, I'm actually really here. I'm not in yesterday digging up stuff from the past. I'm not trying to figure out what's going to happen next. I'm not making my laundry list while you drone on. I'm actually here. I'm actually here. I'm willing to be present right now. Not in any other time, but right now, right here with your presence. And that brings us to the second mantra, which is, "Darling, I know you are here. I see your presence. I see you." Y'all, we all want to be seen. Even those of us who are hiding in corners. Deeply, we want to be seen. We're just afraid to be seen. So, giving someone the gift of saying, I see you. I am present with you, and I see that you are here with me, is a beautiful, beautiful mantra. To recognize someone as precious for just existing. Can you do that for another? I know you are here. I know you are here. I recognize that you exist, and I am rejoicing in it. A quote from E.E. Cummings. This is one of my favorite quotes. He says, "Too often we do not believe in ourselves until someone reveals that deep inside us something is valuable. worth listening to, worthy of our trust, sacred to our touch. Once we believe in ourselves, we can risk curiosity, wonder, spontaneous delight, or any experience that reveals the human spirit. Yeah. Third mantra, darling, I know you suffer. I know you have pain. You can say that to anybody. There is no one out there who doesn't. I know you suffer. And what that means is, I will listen. Since I am present and I know you're suffering, I am here for it. I will witness it. I am present to it. I will help you hold it. You're not alone here. And to go so far as to say, I know you suffer, and that's why I'm here. That's actually why I'm here, because I know you have pain. And then finally, darling, I suffer. Admitting your own pain and saying, I'm willing to show you my vulnerability. I'm willing to let you in and help me hold my suffering instead of believing that I have to do it all alone, which causes me to close doors. Instead of turning away and hiding, instead of punishment or revenge, I'm going to actually let you hear into my suffering. Because here's the thing. If you don't allow yourself to suffer, you will never fully experience joy either. You will never experience the connection and oneness in human form. Oneness is our purpose here. I absolutely believe this. And so, yeah, we're all one. That's the truth. But if you don't ever have any sort of actual visceral realization of that, then we walk around really, really lonely, regardless of what the actual truth is. If we don't know it's our truth, we don't claim it. It's like a rich relative dying and you are the heir. You've inherited all of it, but you don't know about it, so you never claim the inheritance. You walk around not knowing that it all already belongs to you. And yet, when you begin to open your heart, you can do that. So, be aware, be vulnerable, give the gift of your presence. And number 4, invite God in. Prayer is more intimate than sex. Think of how many people you may have done one with without ever believing that you would possibly do the other with. Just saying. What if, come on in, God, right here, right now, with whatever is going on. What if you were able to do that? I'm telling you, it can open up worlds. Number 5, trust and respect yourself, because ultimately you betray yourself when you deny yourself participation in a sacred relationship. And adultery is just one of the ways that we protect ourselves from the sacredness of a relationship. We're like, whoop, this is getting too close. I'm going to do this over here because I don't want to deal with this right here. Feels too vulnerable. So, trust and respect yourself. Another quote from E.E. Cummings, trust your heart if the seas catch fire. Live by love though the stars walk backward. Trust yourself to live a life that's open and connected so that you can experience all your laughter and all your tears, so that you can experience all of it. I'm going to end with a quote from Marianne Williamson, and then I'm going to do a song into meditation. This is from Marianne Williamson's book of prayers called Illuminata. Dear God, I am ready to see perfection in another human being. I am ready to surrender all my thoughts of how another isn't good enough. I am ready to see the beauty in the inner core of all mankind. If there is one person, either in my life or on their way, who would benefit from my vision of his or her loveliness, let her make her way into my arms. May my perception of her beauty wash away her self-hatred. May my forgiveness of her errors release her from guilt. May I learn to support, to listen, to understand. May I learn to serve her in her quest for higher ground. May I learn to give joy, to nurture, and to share. And most of all, may I never forget to pray for my love and to pray with her. Amen.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. And here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving into the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. And as we go into meditation, let's take a deep breath
And allow yourself to be fully present where you are right now. That's the only way to get ready, is first to be with yourself. Say to yourself, darling, I am here. Say to anyone in your circle, darling, I know you're here. And know that everyone suffers. And that you have that in common with everyone. And so maybe it's safe to say, yeah, me too. I suffer. And by doing so, we get ready. Get ready for what's here right now already, that maybe we hadn't noticed or that we had begun to take for granted. Get ready for what's coming. The human mind likes to be predictive. We think we know what's coming, but we do not know what's coming. But we can get ready through cultivating a willingness to dive into the deep end. It's when we decide ahead of time, I will love this much. Then we limit ourselves. And every time we limit ourselves, we limit the one. We are one. And when we go deeper, when we allow ourselves to go deeper than we've been before, here is the promise. You're going deeper into the divine. Ultimately, that's all the love there is. And so, today, in this moment, present right here in this place, get ready to be an instrument through which divine love flows. Say to yourself, I'm open to divine love, and I will not be the one that shuts it off. If it comes up against a dam, I won't be the one that puts it there. If I find one, I'll respect it and go around it. But I am ready, or getting ready, to allow that flow of divine love to be the truth of my life every day. Get ready to dive in and know that it will only ever bring you closer and closer and closer to that sacred source, that God, that divinity, that oneness, that love. And so ultimately we're safe.